Do you believe in your heart and in your head this does end peacefully?
Truthfully, I don't know. I don't think anyone knows. But I know the alternative is going to be pretty grim for all sides.
Do you think we understand Vladimir Putin?
Well, I think it's fairly obvious. I mean, he is defined by a sense of Russian nationalism, but he has got to understand that there is a strong sense of protecting our territorial integrity on the other side of the fence.
What do you think his motivations are?
I think his motivations are to do with the concept of Greater Russia, but I think
that's what he uses as an excuse.
Yeah, but I think it's
we've heard that excuse before in the past, and it hasn't ended well.
Sure, if you look at what he says and the build-up to this, I think there is a genuine and strong feeling in Russia. Okay, I mean, we've got to accept that. But the fact is, whatever the strength of that feeling, you can't have a situation in which Ukraine is pulled apart in this way.
And I know you've done a lot of work with the Middle East and diplomacy. Unfortunately, Syria has sort of been taken off the front pages because of this. It deserves to be on the front pages. It's a crisis. It's a humanitarian disaster of epic scale. When does something get done about Syria?
I think when we realize that the consequences of inaction are going to be devastating.
They already have been.
Well,
they
are devastating, but they could get a lot worse. And the toll on the people in Syria is obviously appalling. I mean, the numbers of people dead, the millions displaced, the effect of disintegration of the country. But if it continues, for example, with us in the UK now, our single biggest security worry right now are British-born people who go and fight so-called jihad in Syria and are going to return to the UK as UK citizens, battle-hardened, battle-trained and angry. So, it's not just a question of the humanitarian toll in Syria, which is appalling and terrible. It's the long-term security consequences.
Should the U.S. get involved militarily in Syria?
I would like to see us as not just the U.S., but at least go to the stage of saying, right, we are going to assist the opposition. For example, I mean, I've argued this case now for about 2 years, with no-fly zones, or something that makes it clear to Assad he cannot win militarily. The truth is, it's not in the interest of any of us now that there is an outright victory by either side. You've got extremist elements in the opposition. You've got a government that's murdered large numbers of its own people and used chemical weapons. So you're in a situation now where you're going to have to bring about a negotiation, and you won't get that negotiation unless both sides know they're not going to win an outright victory.
Former Prime Minister Tony Blair, I wish we had time to get to the great work you're doing with your Face to Faith Foundation. Great stuff.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir, and appreciate you spending some time with CNBC and just bombing in right on the show, which we like, by the way. We keep it loose at the